Avadishir. Command has ordered a repeat attack on Katni airfield west of Tolochin. Each aircraft will carry 10 Fab 100 general-purpose bombs to ensure maximum damage to this target. We have no fighter escort today. Navigation will be entirely the same as in the previous sortie. Давай, мужики. Welcome back aboard my Tupolev SB. The last mission went so well that they've asked us to do it again. Of course, this time the enemy is a lot more likely to know that we're coming, so we'll see how it goes. But in any case, we'll get straight into starting. So, engine 1 is selected and turning over. Prop, mixture, and radiator are full forward, and I'll crack the throttle a bit, and it should go. Alright, I'll just step on the brake so that we don't turn too much. Select engine 2 and do the same thing. And I shall always be careful after the thing that happened in the second mission to make sure I'm returning my engine settings to what they were before I deselected, before reselecting. Because, yeah, you know what happened last time. I basically did the aeronautical equivalent of money shifting engine 2, and that didn't go so well. So, tail wheel's locked. Let's go. Now, navigation is going to be pretty much exactly the same as last time. We'll turn to a heading of 210 when we're overhead the north side of Vitebsk. Although, actually, I might revise that route a little bit so we don't go anywhere near the balloons over the city, since we nearly met with disaster doing that last time. Alright, gear up. And I did a flaps up takeoff this time, so no flaps to bring up. I'll throttle back a bit, though, so that the remainder of our aircraft can catch up. Still just a 3-ship of SBs today. Honestly, given the target we're going after being that airfield, if we had a bigger force with like 20 or 30 planes, we could turn that place into a moonscape, but I'll see how much damage I can do. I'm just going to wheel around to the south side of Vitebsk, I think, and then we'll turn over the river and take the desired heading. And I forgot to mention it in the briefing this time, but we're going to bomb from 3,000 meters again. That's a pretty workable altitude. Keeps you out of range of the smallest caliber flak, and still ensures a decent level of accuracy. Although I've got to say, ever since I've been configuring the sight actually correctly, bombing accuracy's been pretty good, so I don't really have much to complain about there. Engine temperatures are actually pretty cool, but the engines are still warming up, so I'll actually leave the radiators full open. There are the balloons again. I guess I should have gone even wider around the city. You guys aren't going to hit those, are you? No, they're still catching up, so I can lead them over here. Now, you might notice we have some external bombs on the outside of the aircraft. Normally, we've been carrying 8 Fab 100s. I brought 10 today because I want to draw a nice long bomb pattern on the target. Because given the sort of nature of it, we should be able to do more damage that way. I'm going to aim for the planes this time rather than the runway. So that should all be good. Anyway, we've really seen this whole song and dance before since we're flying the exact same route, so I'll probably omit most navigation items this time. But rest assured, I will get on course once we're over the south end of Vitebsk here. Righty, so our position is coming up on this bendy rivery thing up here, so we're pretty much crossing over the front line now, maybe not quite there yet. And the only navigation item I was going to come back to attend to was the calculating of the true airspeed. So the outside air temperature is about 10 degrees. Altitude of 3,000 meters, comes out to 9,800 feet, 10 degrees. Okay, indicated airspeed is about 300 even, maybe just a smidge over. So, that gives us a true airspeed of about 360. I mean, we have to round to the nearest 5, obviously, but that should be about right. And I'll pop in the altitude now as well. And I may recheck that a time or two as we go, just in case I made any errors, but I think it should be about right. I'll run the sight out preliminarily as well. Actually, before I do that, I will check for any drift, because I haven't actually done that yet. So, point it straight down. See, that tree was moving straight down the line. This tree's moving straight down the line. Yeah, I don't think we have any drift to speak of. Once again, it's quite early in the morning, so it's plausible that the upper winds would be minimal, although really the air is almost never dead still like that in real life. But I'm not going to complain because it makes my bomb aiming and navigation easier. So I'll just align so that we pass to the left of that little bit of river there, and we're not actually massively far from the target now, but probably far enough that I can skip ahead until we're a little closer. Okay, so admittedly I only skipped ahead by like a minute because we're actually very close. You can see this hooky river here, and the airfield is just inside the hook. Same place it was last time. I don't think the Germans have moved it. And there's the runway. So I think, based on reviewing what was there last time, that I basically want to drop my bombs in a line pretty close to the middle. Is the German bombers that were parked on it were kind of, they're clustered around the middle 2 degrees. So, and I'll do a nice long delay on the bomb setting. And I'll do train so that I can regulate the interval there. And hopefully we can draw a nice long devastating bomb pattern through the target. One thing I will do, which I've neglected up until now, is break everyone's immersion by starting to record a track. And who knows, maybe it won't be quite so horribly bugged. And I'll open my bomb bay doors. I will issue the command for you lot to drop bombs on my command. I will double check that they're still in their formation. They do seem to have been behaving themselves lately, so that's all good. I've got a little bit of time. I'll recheck my bombing data. So, airspeed is the same. 300, 360 or near enough. Yeah, 3,000 meters. Yep, I don't think there's anything to complain about there. I can actually bump up the altitude a little bit, though. Okay, let's start picking out targets. I think I want to drop pretty much down a line like this. That way we'll catch several of the clusters of aircraft on the ground, hopefully. And I'm using the absolute maximum bomb train interval. Yes. Okay. Well, it'll just be a matter of dropping when the sight comes on, then. A few more degrees to go. I will take a brief sip of tea. I slurped. That was very gentlemanly. Okay, those are definitely bombers parked down there. Worthwhile targets and everything. Yep. Bring that sight down to 37 degrees, which is our correct angle. Bombs away! Well, I think that did a fairly reasonable amount of damage, although I think we might have hit more in the way of fuel stores than the actual, whoops! Oh god, don't do that. than the actual aircraft in some cases, but you know, really we did all we could with this small of a formation. So I'll turn now onto a heading of 090, more or less, off to our rally point. Stroke said heading point for the return trip. Yeah, which will be all very recognizable by being near the tip of this body of water here. If I've got that correct. Actually, have I? No, that's this one, because I've overflown the target, maybe. Yeah, it's this thing over here. Hoi hoi. Yeah, I need to come through 090 a little bit, because the track drawn on the map there assumes that I turned directly over the target, which I didn't. So, yeah. Okay, can I see the road? No, doesn't really matter though. Okie dokie. And once we overfly that point, it's a heading of 028 degrees as the return track. I'm actually going to write that down, because as I've noted in the past, when you zoom out beyond a certain level, this data disappears. So, yeah, okay. And our first port of call will be crossing this body of water here, which is actually basically there. We're actually going to be, interesting. Going to be fairly close. You know, I might actually use that as my set heading point, just so that we're heading more in the direction of home sooner, and can get across the front line in a shorter space of time. Yeah. I think that'll do. And then I'll just wait to pass over it and take a heading of 028. And that'll be that. Oh, and shut the bomb bay doors. You map it. And do the little workaround thing to get my other guy to close his. Just a bit of a bug. Come on. It's not even working this time. Oh, because I didn't say wingman. Yeah. There he goes. Okay. Well, that's scene 2. Barring anything else interesting happening, I think I will just navigate home on my own and come back in a bit. Well, we have all made it back to Vitebsk in one piece. It seems as though we've gotten away with it again, so perhaps these super early morning sorties have some validity to them, or maybe we've just been lucky. I think I'm gonna go with option number 2 on that one. But in any case, just like last time, gonna fly a loose left base and land on the runway from which we departed, and that'll be that. So, you lot can return to base, just brake and land independently. I think I am slow enough to get the gear out, and probably flaps as well. I'll set landing flaps once we roll out onto final. Speed can come back a little, but probably not too much. Honestly, in the SB, once it gets slow, it gets really slow, because you've got that great big wing acting as a big air brake once you're slow. Oh, no. Why did I hit the gear button because I thought it wasn't down, because it wasn't down in the airplane shadow. Oh boy, that was just all very silly. Where are my gear lights? Down and green. Okay, well, forget any of that just happened. I'll add a little burst power and then just pull it back into the flare. There we go. well, the mission went so well that I had to go and do something silly right at the end to make up for it, but whatever. Get slowed down, and vacate. And I'll just pull up next to the taxiway here and shut her down. So, engines off, open the canopy, breathe in that crisp morning air. Maybe bring the flaps up or whatever. Anyway, let's see what the debriefing says. You flew as an experienced pilot should, comrade. It's a shame that there are not more like you. Well, okay, I can roll with that. So, I allegedly destroyed one plane on the ground and one vehicle. Yeah, probably something like that. Anyway, I think that's about as successful as these missions come, so I will be back with the next one before very long. Toodles.